morning. It's good to be here this morning, and I would just like to tell you a little bit about my background and how I became a Christian myself. I'm original from Belgium, so you might hear an accent, and apparently I'm picking up now a Birmingham accent as well. So the combination of the two could be quite interesting. But I grew up in Belgium. My parents divorced when I was 8 months. And the last time I saw my dad, I was five or 6 years old. And at the time when my mom divorced, she became a Christian. So you could say that I was raised in a Christian family. I lived with her and my grandparents and my older brother. And I went to church, but when I became a teenager, I didn't like church that much anymore, and I started to rebel. I started to go slightly my own way, but I still went to church, and it was mainly because of my friends that were at church. But also there was another reason. They had asked me, my youth leader then, he had asked me if I wanted to do the PA, to do all the sound desk and all. And I did find it quite interesting to do, and that's one of the things that kept me going to church all that time. But in school, things were not as they should be. I started to get in trouble a lot more, get detentions. I was almost expelled from school because I was giving my teachers a very hard time. And some of the things what we were doing or what we were up to were quite funny. Other things I'm still ashamed about that we did them. And it's all this went on until I was sort of 17, 18. And one Sunday morning, one of the elders came to me and he said to me, he said, look, we've got this national gathering of Christians coming up on the 11th of November. Would you be interested to come along? And I said, no. I was thinking, why would I? And doing something more with Christians? No. And he said, but we need some help. I said, well, what do you need help with? Because I was thinking, oh, maybe there's something to do. He said, well, we need help to go around with collection, offering bags. I was thinking, oh, maybe I could do that. It's all right. Because my mum was going, she kept nagging me to come along as well. And because now I know that she tried to get me to as many Christian events as possible because she was praying for me that I would become a Christian. And I did go. I went along to this meeting. And the first half of the day, I was bored stiff in the morning. I did my duty with doing the collection. I was thinking, what am I doing here? I saw some of my friends. We started to hang out with each other. And then the afternoon service came along. And then I was sitting there in the service during the preacher. I have no clue what he was talking about anymore. I don't remember at all. But it's during that time that God started to speak to me. And God started to challenge me. And he said to me, he said, look at your life. Look at what's happening. Are you happy with how things are going? And if you're not, would you allow me to take you on an adventure? And I sat there reflecting on my life. And I was looking at what was happening. The amount of times I got in trouble in school, the arguments I had with my brother at home, what we were doing with my friends outside of school. And I was looking at it and I was thinking, actually, it's not really satisfying what was happening. And I said, okay, God, but what will happen he said, you just need to trust me. And I will take you on an adventure if you allow me. And I did. I said to God, I said, okay. I was thinking, what do I've got to lose? It's quite simple to turn back again and go to my old ways if it doesn't work out as I would like to. And at the front, they were still going on. This preacher was still talking, and then he stopped, and the band came up. I remember that, and they did sort of an invitation for people to go to the front to be prayed for. I can't remember what they asked them to come to the front for, but I went. And there was a pastor there that I later on started to work with as well. It is how amazing God is. And he said to me, and he was talking about the invitation, and I said, no, I'm not here for that. And he looked at me like completely perplexed, and he said to me, he said, what are you here for then? He said, I want to become a Christian. I want to follow Jesus. Oh, great. And so he prayed for me, and after that, my life changed radically. I was swearing a lot, and I stopped instantly swearing. My friends noticed this straight away, and they said to me, he said, so what happened with you? I said, what do you mean? I said, you're not swearing anymore? I said, oh, I had some sort of strange experience, and I started to tell them about that I went to this Christian event, and about God, and about what happened to me, and lots of other things started to change in my life, and God took me on an amazing adventure. I was working for a petrochemical factory, and I gave up my job. I retrained to become a teacher. After that, God challenged me to give up my teaching job. And for 6 months, I've seen God's provision for me because I was out of work. And after those 6 months, I started to work for a national Christian youth organisation. From there on, I came to England to visit one of my friends. And I met my wife in Hertfordshire in Christian college, All Nation Christian College. So we married now. God moved me from Belgium to England 12 years ago. I started to work in Farnham as a youth leader, and now I ended up in Hollywood, in Whitehall. And my life's been an amazing adventure. And this is what God asked me to. And he said, do you allow me to take you on an adventure? Well, he did. and my life is still an adventure. And I'm looking forward to see what else he's got in store for me. But if you're sitting here and you think, gosh, I've never experienced something like this in my life, or when you're listening at home or wherever, it's worthwhile, I think. And it's definitely the best thing what I've ever done is trust in God and put my trust in him. Because we can try to work out things for ourselves, what I was trying to do at the time. But the only result was that I was making a mess of things. But since I've trusted him as my Lord and Saviour, I've seen that God intervenes, and that God provided, and that God is there to support you every single step of the way. So that's what I want to share. Now you know a little bit more about who I am, and I'm looking forward to coming back to you later.